I picked up the new GoPro Hero 4 Black camera today because I really am interested in doing some 4K videos, seeing if maybe I can use 4K to crop the video from a quadcopter or something, so we can kind of get that wide angle of view, but then crop the picture down to still have a decent HD picture. That's one reason why 4K is interesting to me. And the other reason is because I really want to get into doing cinema quality aerial video. And I think that in order to do that, you really need to be using the latest and greatest cameras. So this is a $500 camera. That's pretty darn expensive. But to be one of the first 4K sports cameras and to get the GoPro quality, which I'm really familiar with, I've got one of each of their previous products, so I'm very trusting of the brand, and I had no problem paying the $500 to pick this up. Alright, GoPro products are always packaged really well. I love their packaging. You can see the product. It's got everything you need as far as accessories inside that bottom part. This glass plastic dome is actually kind of useful. You can put the camera in it and film a decent image out of it, and I've done that. So on all my other GoPros, I've had to just straight up rip this outside layer off because these two pieces inside were just taped together. Yeah, so do what you can to get this tape off here. Oh, they gave us a tab this time. That's nice. So there's that dome thing. I've used this before to kind of protect the camera when I was trying to do some outside stuff and I wanted to leave the camera out there for a while, but that project didn't really work out. But the images were good. And then here's the base. I like that they give you a plastic, little plastic base. I have used that to like do the rocket video that I did of the Cub Scouts rockets in slow motion. So look for that one if you like that kind of stuff. So there's the little camera. We've got a new case, and it does have the flat front, so I think we'll be able to use this underwater without having to buy another case. The closer on it's a little different. Things are, you know, changing around, improving. The GoPro Hero Black does not have the LCD screen on the back, but the others in the lineup this time do have an LCD screen, which is a welcome addition, but I'm used to using these without it, so I'm sure I'll be fine. On the top of the package is kind of a quick start guide, some stickers, and then I think the safety information. Alright. Warranties. And then you get to the goodies here. Now I got the like regular Hero Black edition, so I get some of these mounts. They include some different mounts this time, which is kind of nice. It's like an angle mount. The arm, the 3-segment arm thing, which I already have one of these, but these are nice. So you can kind of position the camera really any direction you want after you attach it to something. With this, you put a base on one end and put the camera on the other. An empty plastic bag. Probably had this in it. This is your battery. So I'm going to set that over by the camera there. Here's a USB cable. It's a square one. There's the skeleton door, which is open so you get better sound. And two mounts, one curved and one flat, and everything appears to be standard GoPro stuff. So if you got other mounts from your other GoPros, they'll work just fine. And then the little locking thing that keeps your, as if that would ever slide out by itself, but sometimes I've used that thing. So as I showed before, this closure is a little bit different than the previous ones. It's a little simpler, which is nice. It doesn't look like it will come off as easily. The other ones on my like Hero 3, they come off easily. They're easy to put back on. It's not like it's a problem, but it does come off. Oh yeah, that is a piece that holds the camera steady. So if you're in a situation where the mount's not staying like this, you kind of use this piece to hold it steady. This has been sold as an upgrade for a while now by some other companies, but yeah, you can see how it kind of works there. It fits in there and up against the case so that the camera basically is stuck at an angle. Now when you're putting your camera on a shotgun or something like that, that's when that matters, because that shot can easily change the perspective of the camera around, and you don't want that. And get the camera out here. Now this is roughly the same dimensions as the Hero 3, so I'm hoping that some of the gimbal mounts for quadcopters and stuff like that will work on it. But yeah, this is a nice improvement, basically the same shape and everything. So the battery goes in, as you can see, the plug is here and there are the contacts, so it's pretty easy to understand how it goes in, and it's got a little tab here that you can use to pull it out with. So load that up, and then you'll need to load up a memory card, and you need a micro memory card that's at least class 10, or it also says UHS 1. But what we looked at were write speeds. 80 is the best one that I could get. So some of these UHS 1 cards are 40, 50, 60. I don't know if those won't work, but I'm not going to try it. I've paid the money. GoPro is an excellent camera. You don't want to use a crappy memory card with it. You will have trouble. Alright, on the side of the camera, there is a little door that pops off and flies onto the floor. And that's where your USB cable connection and your SD card and everything is. So let's see if I got the direction right the first time. Yeah, I did. Alright, so load your SD card, find the door, and we're good to go. So once you load up the battery and the memory card, you should be ready to go. Let's see if it turns on here. Yeah, you gotta hold the button down. So there, it came on. And yeah, looks like it's ready to go. So one great thing about the new GoPro is it is exactly the same size as the old one. So I went ahead and put it in the frame on my quadcopter there, and it fits perfectly. So it's basically the same fit as the old one. So we should be able to use our frame style mounts anyway. It was pretty simple to get the camera paired up with my GoPro app, which is a really easy way to control the camera settings and see a little preview of when you mount the camera, you know, what it's going to look like. Now, for flying quadcopters and stuff, you generally don't want to use this as it has quite a bit of lag, so it's worthless for like live video. And using the Wi-Fi on the camera has been known to cause some trouble with quadcopters as far as their radio control system. So we need to be careful with that. Turn the Wi-Fi off. And I think once you get it going, you know, why waste the battery on your phone either? The GoPro is an excellent camera. Once you have it mounted up and you're sure that it's recording, everything's gonna be fine. I was able to get the GoPro remote to work after I had to call the company and ask them how to switch it out of Wi-Fi GoPro app mode and into remote mode. But I was able to get the old style remote working, so I don't think if you have a remote from the GoPro 2 or 3, I guess was the first one that had it, you should be good to go. Now it doesn't have a settings button on the remote, it never did, but everything else you can control just fine. So if you start the camera, you can see it starts recording there, and then you can obviously stop the recording with the remote. So that works great, and I believe you can also turn off the remote, which turns off the camera as well. So this screen is pretty hard to see in like normal room light, and the stuff on the screen is pretty small, so I've been using a flashlight to look at it. Now if you're outside it's going to be fine, but if you're inside, like in a house, I've been having trouble actually seeing that. I did have a little bit of a problem with the case coming apart. This, as you can see, it's tight, but it doesn't really stick on there. So I've been able to get it to come off on both sides. And that happened like when I was slipping it into the frames and stuff. This is pretty easy to get off. And I don't know if I broke the piece in there or what. It feels like it's snapping in, but I don't know. I'm sure that's fine. One other issue I had was I tried to do some close-up video, and the lights on the front of the camera are very bright. So if you're doing anything where the reflection of those lights might be visible, turn them off. Now we've been having some pretty bad weather here, and I've done some footage with this, and the 4K footage, it's really pretty good. I don't have a TV screen that can run 4K native, but I threw up some walking around the house and stuff on the big screen, and it just looks great. Typical GoPro image quality, and on the narrow view in HD, which I like to use, it looked really great, which is to be expected. It should look a little better than what it did before, because we've got a much better sensor here and it's cropping it down to HD. So as far as a review, as far as how I feel about it, I think it's worth the $500. I'm not unhappy with the price or anything. I'm a little bit unhappy with this case thing coming apart, but it's fine as long as you have it in a frame or something. It's going to be fine. If you're looking for great image quality, typical GoPro field of views and stuff, you can't go wrong here. And if you're doing any kind of cinema stuff or movie stuff, I think getting 4K so we can crop it and do some other stuff is a really great idea. All in all, great product, decent value. $500 is kind of a lot for a little camera like this, but I think you get what you pay for, and it's worth having if you're needing to step up to 4K, or if you're looking for a new GoPro now. I would probably go ahead and go for this one instead of getting a 3 or something.